I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Brute Bonnet. The lore around Pokeballs has always been quite vague for a technology so fundamental to the Pokemon series. We know the design was inspired by similar technologies seen in Dragon Ball and Ultraman. It makes sense creatively, as a way for our protagonists to have a team of dragons and beasts with them, while still being able to enter buildings and ride bicycles and so on. In-game, first we had Voltorb, which was said to be a case of possession from within the Pokeball factory. Then in the second generation, we met Kurt, and were introduced to an ancient form of ball made from apricorns. In the fourth movie, we see an old wind-up version. In the sixth generation, we visited the Pokeball factory. And in Legends Arceus, we learned that maybe Pokemon had the ability to shrink in size, even prior to the invention of Pokeballs. Brute Bonnet is a Paradox Pokemon found in Area 0 of Pokemon Scarlet's Paldea region. It resembles the 5th generation grass and poison Pokemon Amoonguss, with the addition of some overgrown foliage draping down, and some actual legs to walk on. Its Pokeball-esque cap is covered with small spikes. Pokemon Violet tells us, "It bears a slight resemblance to a Pokemon described in a dubious magazine as a cross between a dinosaur and a mushroom." The Paradox Pokemon of Pokemon Scarlet are supposedly from the ancient past, or at the very least some alternative timeline. In this case, it seems odd that a prehistoric monster that rubbed shoulders with dinosaurs should have camouflage like a modern Pokeball. But Pokemon Scarlet threw us this little hint. There is a theory that the developer of the modern-day Pokeball really liked Fugus, but this has not been confirmed. Also in Pokemon Scarlet, we can actually read the magazine mentioned in Violet. Enigmas of Paldea, File Number 6. Brute Bonnet. Amoonguss meets dinosaur. This bizarre creature is said to combine traits of dinosaurs with those of the Pokemon Amoonguss. It's named after a fierce mushroom creature of matching description that appears in the renowned Scarlet Book. Brute Bonnet certainly resembles Amoonguss, though with its own unique twists. Its gigantic stature and seemingly low intelligence combine to make it a savage, powerful fighter. Although Brute Bonnet hasn't been as absolutely dominant in the competitive scene as Amoonguss, its switch to a dark typing and change of stat distribution does make it a more threatening attacker compared to Amoonguss's traditional defensive role. The Pokeball is, intentionally, a symbol of the series. It makes sense then that there are a couple of mascot monsters that use that design. And I think the which came first, chicken or the egg question at the heart of Amoonguss makes it a perfect candidate for a mysterious paradox monster. Original music for Luke Loves Pokemon is by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork is by Katie Groves. Funding is provided by listeners at patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. For just $1 a month, supporters can listen to episodes a week early, and also help cover hosting and fees, making it possible for me to keep making episodes every week. I love hearing from listeners. Get in touch about upcoming Pokemon on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN. Drop a comment if you're watching the video, or a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Coming up are Slitherwing, Iron Jugulus, and Iron Moth, so please get in touch about those, or any other monsters. Even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Brute Bonnet, and remember, I love you too.